Once in a generation, a story comes along that is so transformative, so original, that it captures the imagination and forever changes the lives of all who read it.
Dad, we're talking about Dogman right now.
All right. So hi, I'm Torren. This is my little guy, X-Beam.
That's right.
Right, whatever. Can I tell you something I noticed?
Sure.
So, our favorite bookstore, most of what they sell is used, and that's why I like going there. They do sell some new stuff, especially stuff that's really popular. They have a display case with every new Dogman every time I go. It's really popular. How did you get into Dogman?
My friend likes Dogman, and I found one in class. I read, I think, the first chapter. Then I found the first book, which was kind of weird because I started with the 7th.
Oh, you know what? When I started reading Animorphs, I started with the 4th. What was it like to go back and see how it started after you were already familiar with a later entry?
Pretty weird.
Yeah, the first time I read it, the intro kind of got to me too. Do you want to talk about the origin story to Dogman?
Okay, there is 2 cops. One's a dog and one's a man.
A dog cop would be my preferred cop.
So, and then an evil cat makes a bomb, and he yells and gets their attention, and they try to defuse the bomb, but the dog named Greg points at the wrong wire, and he thinks it's green, so he snips it, and it explodes, and apparently only the dog's body is dying and only the cop's head is dying. And then they cut off the dog's head and sew it up and cut off the human's head, and then they sew the dog's head onto the man's body. So, Dogman, which is pretty weird.
I think so too. In fact, I think that might be what keeps a lot of people from getting into the series, is how weird the origin story is. But after the origin story, I've noticed it doesn't really have much to do with the rest of the books. So, yeah, what happens in that first book?
Well, there's a lot of things, but
You mean a bunch of stuff that happens next?
no, that's chapter 6.
Of the first book?
Yeah.
You know that right offhand?
Wait, no, it's chapter 6 in the second book.
So for Dogman's first time out, he gets into a fight with Petey. Does Dogman know that it's Petey's fault that he became Dogman?
I don't think so.
You don't think he ever finds out?
Yeah, I mean, Petey never makes that confession.
Isn't Petey's assistant in the movie a girl?
Yeah.
And I can't remember, in the Dogman play, did Petey even have an assistant?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was a boy.
It was a boy in the movie. It was a boy in the stage play.
Yeah.
I love Petey's first gambit with the vacuum cleaner. How does that go?
Oh, he's gonna try to suck him up.
Okay.
Because apparently dogs are scared of vacuum cleaners.
Can confirm they are.
Yeah, but it ends up driving into the ocean and exploding.
Thus securing Dogman's first victory against Petey.
In the movie, he says, vacuum cleaners. I'll build a giant, massively expensive vacuum cleaner. Yeah, well, dogs also hate firecrackers, and they're like $5.
Okay, I have a question from the very first time I read this. On page 39, Petey gets arrested for the first time. I've got one word to say to you.
Click. Rats.
Do you think it was always going to be rats? What other words do you think Petey might have said?
Thank you.
That's 2 words.
Yeah, I don't know if it was always rats. Oh, thanks.
Thanks. So these books have fliporama. So here's some other interesting connection. As you've noticed, the original Animorphs books all had flipbook animations in the corner. Apparently, that made librarians hate those books because kids would always flip through them whether they read them or not, so they'd get all worn out, especially on the corners. Dogman has something even more insidious. It has fliporama. You want to explain how fliporama works?
Okay, so they might see him look hard, but yeah, it rips real easy. If you hold the book, then it's hard to do on this one because I already ripped it. You grab the corner, then you go really fast.
I think it's fair to say on our copies of your first 3 or 4 Dogman books, about half of the fliporamas are ripped.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like it's actually...
Did you just rip it again?
Yes.
On camera.
Yeah.
It's a scam to make you buy more copies of Dogman. If you read it on the ebooks, you don't have that problem, but you are limited at how fast you can flip. So after Petey's arrested for the first time, he escapes 8 times. Now, in the movie, it shows you their own version of the 8 attempts, if I'm remembering it right.
Yeah.
The book doesn't tell you. The book just says, and then Petey escaped from jail 8 times. Here's a question. Can you flip to the section called Book 'em Dogman?
Book 'em Dogman?
I think that's what it's called. It's one of the chapters. Here we go.
Book 'em Dogman. This isn't a chapter. This is a mini book.
Right. It's like that's actually what I want to ask about. It's like a mini book encased inside the book. So here's a question. Do you know what it means for something to be canon?
No.
Okay. You know how in is it the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special, they even have that line, come on, it's not like any of this is canon.
No.
So canon is when something is actually officially part of the story.
Oh, yes, it is. In the beginning, when it's those lines, and none of this is canon, so just relax.
And none of this is canon, so just relax.
And it skips through all the real ones.
Okay, so this is my question. Book 'em Dogman is done in like a different, slightly more primitive style, and it has a note accompanying, explaining it. So in your mind, is Book 'em Dogman canon? Does this story actually happen within part of the Dogman universe, or is it just like a story within a story of Dogman?
Yeah, I think it happens.
You think it's canon?
Yeah.
Maybe now I should confess I've never actually seen that.
Star Wars or Phineas and Ferb Star Wars?
The Phineas and Ferb Star Wars, I've just overheard it while your brother and you watched it 8 times. 1 time for every time Petey escaped from prison.
This page I accidentally just ripped the whole thing out. It says Fliporama, but there's only 1 page.
Oh, you got a whole missing page.
You got a whole missing page.
Man, how do I know what happens if I only have the back half of a Fliporama?
Well, I know where this is.
Oh, you know where the page is?
Yeah.
Go get it. Is there any stuff that I've been missing for a long time that you know exactly where it is? Where's my super suit?
Why do you need to know?
The public is in danger.
I don't know that line.
It's okay. Okay, so actually, X-Beam, you're going to do a better job.
X-Ray!
Sorry, X-Ray, you're going to do a better job than me of explaining this. How do we get to here? Why is, explain to me why Chief and his colleagues are playing with poop in his office.
Dogman pooped in Chief's office, and he found it, so that's why.
Yeah, but why did Dogman poop in Chief's office, and why is everyone acting dumber than usual?
Oh, you skipped that part.
Well, that's why I said, tell us how we got here, because I don't remember the sequence of events as well as you do.
Apparently, books make everybody a lot smarter, and Petey...
I'm with you so far.
And Petey makes this weird enator array that makes all the books just a bunch of... still the equal length, but the words are all gone.
So he takes the content out of all the books, just leaving behind reams of paper, basically.
Yeah, he leaves behind blank book covers and pieces of paper. But then his books he keeps, so he gets smarter, but everybody else gets so incredibly dumb.
Like you can't even stand it, right?
Yep. That was too easy. He stole a television. He stole that car.
I feel like the world could use a Petey right now to make us smarter, just so the world is a little bit more standable.
They even fill it up with... But you told it to fill it up with gas.
Okay, so can you go back to 123? Because I've had a question here for a while. Is the chief making a phone call on a phone, or has he somehow tied a shoe to a phone cradle?
I think he tied a shoe to a
You think
phone.
that's a shoe, too?
That's a shoe, dude.
I'm still not entirely sure.
Look closely. That's a shoe.
It looks more like a shoe, but the issue is it's got a phone cord. Why is it tied to the phone?
How do you know that's... How do you know that's not a shoelace?
Shoes have laces.
Yes!
Oh no, I think something's happened. Here, X-Beam, check my books. Are there any words in there?
X-ray.
Ah! I'm forgetting my own kids' names. Who used the stupid ray?
Yeah, there are words.
The problem lies elsewhere. All right. Can you do me a favor? Go to page 161.
161. I'm just gonna leave this messed up page up there.
That's okay. It's been left in worse places.
Yeah, with the trash can.
Wait, did you get it from the trash?
Yeah.
Did you poop in my office?
No.
Thank God. I still need to find out who did.
61.
161, yeah.
The mayor mails him the invisible
And then
spray.
recenter it. Oh, okay. The mayor mails the invisible spray?
Look, 2P8040 catch.
Oh, that's...
From...
Okay, this is an educational moment. That doesn't say 40, but I understand why a kid would think it says that. It's C/O. It means care of. So it's like to PD, care of the cat jail. So I mean, you can't mail it directly to PD. You've got to mail it to the jail. So the jail takes care of the package until they can give it to PD. That's what CO means on a package.
It says from Mad Scientist, RUS.
For,
It
let me
says
see.
from Mad Scientist, RUS.
That's a back. Mad Scientists Are Us. Oh, this is so sad. That's a parody of the Toys R Us store, which I think went out of business when you either weren't born or were very little. You don't remember Toys R Us. Is this the one with the corrupt mayor who's helping him escape jail, or like why? Remind me why they mail him the living spray.
Because at the beginning, the mayor comes in, and he's mad. You better straighten up or I'll replace you with a robot. And he gets really mad.
Right, so
if he escapes again, he'll replace him with a robot.
So the mayor's corrupt, and she's working with Robot Chief to help Petey escape to discredit the chief, right?
Yeah. She helps Petey escape.
So, do you want to summarize the ending battle here with the Euros versus the hot dogs?
Oh yeah, the Euro and the hot dog work together.
Teamwork between different ethnic foods. I like it.
Oh come on, now I'm hungry for a hot dog.
Huh. I'd like some Euros.
Lunch.
I didn't order a hot dog.
I didn't know a Euro.
So, X-Beam.
That's right.
Sorry about that. So, we're here to talk about the ending of the first Dogman book after pausing for about 20 minutes to go get lunch, and we're definitely recording this on the same day. Talk to me about how this ends.
Well, it ends with them... Well, it has to end with Chief getting humiliated, but...
Humiliated?
Kinda. Well, he gets humiliated and then he gets really happy. Oh, and Dogman breaks his couch.
Can you talk a bit about the fight with the sentient hot dogs and the giant Euro?
Petey offends this hot dog who helps him escape jail. And he turns evil and he makes a bunch of other hot dogs alive. And the hot dogs are taking revenge. Then they come to... Oh, it is a cheesesteak.
It's not a Euro?
Yeah, it's a cheesesteak right there. Cheesesteak mascot. Oh, he says Euro. he thinks it's a euro, but no,
That's
it's
not
a
a euro.
cheesesteak.
That's, well,
It's a cheesesteak.
I guess there was a little misunderstanding. Hang on, let me hide my non-canonical euro in shame. It really is a shame, because if I'd realized it was a cheesesteak, I could have gotten one for Mom. She loves those.
Just eat your lunch.
Oh, I'm going to. I paid for it.
Yeah, so then the hot dog uses the living spray to make the giant cheesesteak alive. And then once Dogman finds a way to escape by angering the cheesesteak by throwing a bunch of bones at him, he gets so mad he just rips the cage apart. And then they're free. And then the dogs, as dogs do, they eat him. But then the living spray better grab it before somebody else does. Warning. Contents under pressure. Keep away from flames and stuff.
That's some good advice for any aerosol cans, by the way.
Yeah. It will explode. And it explodes the euro. Okay, so and then he goes back to catch you. And then Dogman gets crashed over here and destroys Chief's couch. And as we all know, Chief should be crushed. You got dirt on my new couch. You're the worst cops ever. Yeah.
So there's a runner involving Chief's couch. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he's dead. He's dead. He's alive. Hip, hip, hooray. And then he's the one doing the dance on him. Oh, and there's this little fun note. How many times do I have to talk about this?
So this is supposed to be like in the universe of the story, the author wrote Dogman for a homework assignment, but it got rejected by the teacher, right?
It's the teachers or it's the principal.
Oh. Talk to me about these how to draw cartoons at the back here.
They're just like step by step what to do. So draw a curve, extend the curve, finish the curve, draw two lines, add this little curve, add a little U here.
Maybe we should practice that one day.
Oh, and something funny.
Yeah?
In both the Dogman and Petey, it shows a picture of Sleepy as asleep.
So maybe it should say sleeping.
Yeah.
Interesting. Does this have the same story notes at the back about the inspirations like some of the other ones do?
I don't think so. Then there's a little preview for the next one.
So X-Beam, overall, what are
X-Ray!
Overall, what are your thoughts on the first Dogman?
That's like a 7 out of 10 star rating.
That's about what I'd say for what it is. Good start. Makes me want to read more. Not my favorite. Is it your favorite?
Definitely would read it.
Above average?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll see you sometime soon for Dogman Unleashed. So after Petey's arrested for the first time, he escapes 8 times. Do you have any ideas as to how he did it? What are his 8 ways to escape prison?
I have learns how to fly and flies out a window.
Throw it out the window.
Because I'm a Megamind fan, he has to dress as a guard and escape that way at least once.
I have begs very convincingly.
He convinces one of the guards that it's opposite day and puts the guard in the cell and then just walks out.
Okay. Other villain destroys cat jail.
Where's Dogman for that?
I don't know.
Alright, here's one. He volunteers to be the ball during a soccer game and gets kicked over the wall.
My last one is he gets very strong and breaks the fence.
Can I share with you an idea about that?
What?
Even when he's super strong, it's still hard, and then, like, just as he manages to do it... Oh, what's the guy's name? Big Jim comes by, and it's just like, that's not how you break down the wall, this is, and he just does it. So that, he could have done it the whole time. Alright, here's my last idea. Okay. Petey becomes the jail barber, and makes a fake Petey out of all the hair he's collected. He then takes accordion lessons with a mail-order accordion, orders several dozen raincoats, learns how to sew, weaves them together into a raft, inflates the raft, and escapes that night into the Bay of San Francisco. I mean, into the river that runs through the Dogman City.
Isn't that a famous jail on an island?
It is. There's also a Mythbusters about it. Okay, that was 8, but I have a secret 9th one. You want to hear it?
Sure.
You know how cats are supposed to have 9 lives?
Yeah.
Here's the bonus 9th one. Petey just waits to die, and then he leaves jail, but then he comes right back because it's his next life.
I don't think that would quite work.
Maybe not.
But also, a vacuum cleaner bag exploded, so what do you only have 8 lives?
Oh, I don't know how far we want to go with this, but do we count all the times in the Dogman series that maybe Petey moves on to a next life?
Yes.
Does little Petey count as one? Because he's a clone. Does the clone take one away from Petey's overall count?
I don't think so. He sacrifices his whisker,
Ah,
not his life.